Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about why video quality in the world of Bigfoot matters. Now, before this, I do want to say that this video will contain lots of big words, some of which the community may not understand, and it will involve something known as critical thought, which is kind of like the community's version of kryptonite. Yeah, and there's goats. There's gonna be goats. In this case, I first need to tell you that we're not here to try and believe or whatever. If we're supposed to be researching a creature, we should actually be researching it. You'd think that by trying to study a creature, we wouldn't try to worship it like it's some sort of giant hairy Jesus. We'd actually put the scientific method into trying to look for it. That doesn't really seem to be the case, unfortunately. But I digress. So I do tend to think that science as a whole, like the idea that they need a whole completely intact body instead of such less substantial evidence, to me it makes them come off as being a bunch of entitled brats. It's like, well, you discovered things like the Denisovans with a tooth, a finger. Why do you need so much more substantial data and evidence to prove the existence of a more modern organism? Is it because it's modern? Is that it? But I'm getting off topic. Getting overexposed too. In this case, I'm mainly going to talk about why, like I said, video quality matters. It does. It's kind of strange that when we're trying to capture clear, sharp, and good resolution, good quality footage of this supposed creature, that we settle for filming in, say, 240p with what are practically potatoes. It seems a little counterintuitive, doesn't it? Doesn't it? You'd think that if we want to capture sharp and clear footage, we would need a good quality camera. Now, there are going to be many excuses, including, "Ooh, well, a good camera is too big." Screw you! You know what a good quality camera can be had for? 400 grams. That's less than a fucking pound. Look me in the bloody eye and tell me that 1 pound is too fucking heavy. And there's a B on my lens. Yeah, look me straight in the face. Tell me that a pound is too heavy for a good camera. If you can't lift a pound, it shows how little time you have been going outside and using your arms. If you can't lift a bloody pound, it shows that no, you have not been going outside and actually researching. You've just been typing away on your keyboard, on your computer, in your bedroom. I can lift a pound easily. If you can't lift a pound, you have not been going outside. And when you show evidence that you have, you're a bloody fucking liar. You're probably seeing the best video quality ever for someone talking about Bigfoot. Because you're seeing this in 60 frames per second. The main problem, I think, is that the Bigfoot community spends so much time infighting and looking at 20-year-old pieces of blurry ass footage that they have not kept up to date with camera technology. I shouldn't have worn a sweater. It's getting pretty hot. By that, I mean they have not kept up whatsoever. You see, nowadays there are things called mirrorless cameras. Mirrorless. They don't have a mirror. Think of a point and shoot that lets you swap out lenses. Except you do get the same degree of control that you would with a professional grade SLR. What you're actually seeing me through right now is a camera that uses an APS-C sensor. That's a sensor that's 25 mils wide by 16 mils tall, resulting in a 1.5 times crop factor. Many of the devices used to regularly shoot during expeditions tend to be either incredibly cheap fully automatic camcorders or iPhones. Both of those tend to have a sensor around the size of, say, 1/3 of an inch, which results in a crop factor of around 7.6. Because of how insane the crop factor is, because of that, in order to achieve the same depth of field with the same lens that I'm using, you would need an adapter that has glass elements, and those glass elements result in a degradation of image quality, and they suck up light, meaning there's a loss of light. This also, I mean, besides that, the adapter itself costs, get this, $700. Oh boy, our taxpayers' money at work. What a bargain! $700! $700 for a stupid adapter that screws into the front of your camera, sucks up light, and degrades the image? Oh boy! That's money well spent right there! And guess what? For around that same price, $700, $800, you could get a Panasonic G7. Now, I'm not sponsored by Panasonic in any shape or form or any of these camera companies, but for that, you can get a camera that lets you swap out lenses and records in 4K ultra high definition footage. And I should have picked a better spot. I'm surrounded by wasps. But, like I said, that will let you record ultra high definition footage, which is 4K. That's 3840 by 2160. That would be an 8 megapixel image in a 16 by 9 aspect ratio. If you haven't seen 4K footage, and I'm quite sure many Bigfooters have not, their computers that they probably upload to the web to are probably, for most intents and purposes, they're probably uploading using toasters. I mean, for those who don't know, 4K lets you crop down immensely. You're basically taking a photo, except it's moving. And they're basically ignoring this in favor of iPhones and camcorders. iPhones, the current ones at least, can sell for over $1,000 unlocked. That's not a very good value compared to a camera that can shoot 4K and let you swap out lenses and still get a nice blurry background. It's just not good value. It just isn't. Like I said, they haven't been keeping up. And there's wind going by, so you probably won't be able to hear me very well. The lens you're looking through me right now is a 28mm, has an aperture of f2.5. Because of the sensor size, you're still getting a nice blurry background. Now, like I said, on the topic of video quality, there's also the question of if someone does capture footage of Bigfoot that is this clear at a respectable resolution and frame rate, and you could actually discern it from the rest of the scenery, would it actually be accepted by the community as being genuine? Or would it be passed off as fake because it could be too good to be fucking true? It's like Todd Standing. He's got good equipment. Problem is, he shoots in fucking Narnia. That's wasted potential right there. Now, the reason I'm saying this is, imagine, you have a long enough lens from far away to capture the subject without it attacking you or running away. We're dealing with an animal. It should stand to reason that we need a long enough lens, and we should be acting like you're trying to take a photo of a bird or a deer. So we need a long lens, not a wide fucking angle. GoPros are a no-no. We're here to try and capture animals, not fucking landscapes. So say we have a 600mm lens attached to our camera. We're a few yards away, and we have the exposure correct. We have the camera set to a fast burst mode, and we take a picture of it, or we record footage of it. The question is, would it still actually even be accepted as real? I say, and I stand by this, that no, it wouldn't. Because it's not blurry. It's not being taken with a really crappy ass camera. Even if it is being taken by a professional nature photographer or a professional filmmaker. Well, oh, look at that. If you're a filmmaker, you must be doing this for a hoax. It must be for a fucking documentary. Guilt by association. Professional nature photographer, they still won't fucking care. They still will probably say that it's fake. And that's actually quite sad. So, on the science side, the skeptics, we have a bunch of entitled fucking brats who probably will end up breaking a nail, pissing themselves if they actually go outside and see one. The other side, we have a bunch of sunburnt, no-necked... We have a bunch of sunburnt, no-necked 40-somethings who spend more time inside in their house breaking down even 50-year-old pieces of footage which aren't focused correctly and are incredibly shaky than they do keeping up with actual camera and computer technology, which they should be doing, and thinking that a good quality camera is going to weigh 5 tons and costs tens of thousands of dollars. Which sure, some do, but you can still get one for under $1,000, under $700 if you shopped used, and only around £1. And they're ignoring this shit. On one side, you have people who don't keep up with camera technology, spend most of their days infighting, and write everything off as fucking fake. The other, you have people who don't actually want to recognize it, are entitled fucking brats who want a body, even though they have discovered new species with much less significant amounts of evidence. You just can't fucking win with these people. There is no pleasing them. You can't fucking win. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. One, you have armchair fucking jockeys and people who say, no, we can't kill it, it's a human being. PETA wannabes. The other, like I said, you have entitled fucking brats with too much money to spend who would rather research on how to make iPhones smaller and more overpriced. God, I need to breathe. And like I said, the other side, you have people who worship it like it's a giant fucking hairy Jesus, treat critical thought like a fucking cancer, and think that if you try and shoot it, you're considered a murderer, even though you would need to please the other side. Like I said, you just can't fucking win with these people. You can't win.